All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our social media LinkedIn workshop with Heather Taylor. Thank you for joining SCORE. I hope you guys are taking good use of these workshops. There's plenty to choose from on our website. Just so you're aware, this is being recorded, and later today you will receive an email from SCORE Akron that will have the recording as well as the slides. So you don't have to go crazy taking notes. So you'll have those to refer to. With that, we will also answer questions throughout. You can type them in the chat. You can do the Q&A. And you can also raise your hand. We don't have a crazy large group today, so if you would like to raise your hand, we can also answer questions that way. So with that, Heather, I will hand everything over to you now.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Laura. I always love doing webinars with SCORE. It is honestly one of the most amazing organizations around. I always encourage people who are on any of the workshops or webinars, if you have not yet engaged with SCORE to get a mentor, definitely look into doing that. You would be amazed at the wealth of knowledge that these people bring to the table. So if you've not done that, in service to your business, make sure that that's something that you check out for sure. Quick caveat, everything that we talk about today regarding LinkedIn is absolutely free. This will not be about LinkedIn ads, any kind of paid services. This is about what you can do as the business owner or business professional for your business on LinkedIn. Okay, so when I get started, I always like to start with setting expectations, right? You need to know what social media isn't so that we can talk about what it is and how you use it to make more money, more revenue for your business, right? So social media is not free. I know that goes against everything I just told you, but what I mean by that is if you're not going to spend money, then you're going to spend time. And as business owners, many times we actually start out having more time than we do available funds to have someone do our services for us. So we take on those, for ourselves, and we're not quite ready to offload those or delegate that task to someone else. So you will spend your time, and our time as business owners is not free. Learning LinkedIn today, thank each of you for setting aside this hour to take your business to the next level where LinkedIn is concerned. But it was an hour you had to set aside because I promise you there are 682 other tasks you can be doing as business owners right now, as opposed to learning more about LinkedIn. So time is a huge commodity for we business owners. I own a small business as well, so I get it. We have to wear all the hats. So that's why I tell people social media is not free. It may not cost us money, but it's going to cost us time if it doesn't. Social media is not a flash in the pan. You're going to see a stat here in a little bit. LinkedIn turned 22 years old this year. It's not going anywhere. Facebook's not going anywhere. And while I say that, social media is going to change in the next minute. So it's not going to go away, but it may change whatever iteration that we have. For those of you who have been in business a while, as soon as you get something figured out on any social media platform, it's like they know it and they can smell fear and they change, whatever that may be. Transferring to Meta was a huge thing. I got to tell you, not a fan. So I will tell you, social media isn't going to go anywhere. There will always be some kind of social media marketing out there. It just may change, its facade. Social media is not a replacement for your sales team. Don't think you're going to get really good at any, 1, 2, 3 platforms and you can just let that business development person on your staff go. Absolutely not. What it is another tool in the toolbox for you and your sales staff. So the better that we get at social media, the better tools you have to equip those people who are on your team. And by the way, everyone on your team can be part of your sales team. If you own a auto repair business, every single guy who turns a wrench can also be on your sales team because he or she have different networks than you do. And if they're putting stuff out on their social media, that is another feather in your cap for letting people know about your business, what kinds of services that you offer, and it kind of gives them a nice little peek into the kinds of people who work for you, right? If you have if you have that auto repair professional and she's putting out on her Facebook about, hey, we love taking care of cars, that is a whole different perspective than what we put out as the business owner. So not only does social media not replace your sales team, it actually can grow it for you. So just bear that in mind. And finally, this one always hurts my heart to say because it is where I live and breathe. However, social media is not your entire marketing strategy. There are plenty of other things that you need in the vast world of marketing aside from social media and in addition to, right? There is in-person networking, joining those chambers of commerce, those, industry specific networking groups. There is print advertising that still works for a whole lot of businesses. So don't think just because you've got LinkedIn mastered that you can kind of drop the ball on everything else. Unfortunately, we get to be that person that keeps all of the plates spinning, right? But it's great to know that social media will always be a part of that mix, but not all of it, okay? So let's talk about just a couple of stats you should know about LinkedIn. I refer to this as the decidedly non-sexy part of the presentation. Any kind of stats aren't exactly what you came here to learn, but sometimes it can make a difference on whether you opt to take up LinkedIn and use it as a platform that you should be using. I will tell you right now, every single business that I can think of should absolutely be on LinkedIn. You do not have to, a lot of people think you need to be in a business to business kind of an organization for it to work. Absolutely not. You can definitely be in a business to consumer business situation and have LinkedIn still be a fantastic tool for you. Guess what? Everyone who is on LinkedIn is still a consumer, right? Even if they own a business, don't own a business, I promise you, they are consuming something. So I promise you, no matter what business you are in, you have a market on LinkedIn. It's just a matter of honing in and getting in front of the eyeballs for your correct market. So we talked about this earlier. LinkedIn is turning 22 in 2025. That is awesome. I have been an early adopter. I love this platform. I know most people find more fun in Facebook and Instagram and Snap and TikTok. I live and breathe LinkedIn, and I promise you, between LinkedIn and my Google business profile, and we're talking about that next month, Laura and I will give you the dates on that later, I get 95% of my business from those two platforms. Facebook is fine. I am on there because people expect, as a social media professional, I will be on Facebook with my business. And the same goes for Instagram. That's not where I find my business. Mine, I find on LinkedIn and Google. I know a great many of you find it on Google as well. And I'm going to hopefully show you how you can use LinkedIn as another great tool to find those prospective clients. This is huge, and this is why when I tell people about LinkedIn, I say this is where the money is. You're not going to be doing the crazy, taking quizzes, things like that, but LinkedIn is the most trusted social network in the United States. And that means if you're trying to establish yourself as the professional in your field, this is the easiest platform on which to do that because people trust what they find on this social network above all others. And I think that's hugely important. LinkedIn has over 1 billion members. And remember, I talked about every one of you has a market on here somewhere. Out of 1 billion members, I promise you, some of those people are consumers for whatever product or service or cause you have to put out to the world. 40% of LinkedIn users change their job, company, or industry every 4 years. And I tell you this because I'm old. So I remember back in the day when we used to keep a Rolodex, and some of you probably don't even know what that is, but it was little cards about how we contact people. Where is so-and-so? How do I reach him or her? The beautiful part of LinkedIn is people will go in and automatically update their contact info. So you are always going to know where the people in your network are working, how you can get in touch with them, and what they've been up to. I only put this slide in there for 2 reasons, actually. If you're looking to hire, I promise you LinkedIn is definitely something that you want to examine. But also, this is an electronic Rolodex at your fingertips with updated information to the minute, as long as people get on there and do what they're supposed to do on LinkedIn, right? The second part of that is you'll also receive notifications letting you know that. That is an awesome thing for we busy business owners, right? I don't always have time to get in and surf through LinkedIn for 3 hours a day to see what's new and exciting. But I can set my settings to let me know, hey, let me know when somebody changes jobs, or they can set their settings to let everybody know, yeah, I'm making a move. It's a fantastic tool that we have at our fingertips, and they have done everything that they can to make it exponentially easier for us to use. I laugh at this stat because it's great and scary all at the same time. Content creation on LinkedIn increased 60% in 2020. And why is that? COVID, right? Everybody had no choice but when it came to networking to go to online platforms to do so. We couldn't go out in public. And even when we could, not everybody was willing to jump back out and be that canary in the mine and get out there and do it. So content creation has increased. The fun thing is it has stayed where it was and only grown since then. Once people got to learn the platform, they learned what an incredible tool it can be. So it never went backward when we went back out into the public, right? It stayed where it was, and we've only added to that number since. So that is a wonderful thing for all of us who want to explore the world of online marketing. And this is my favorite. 4 out of 5 people on LinkedIn drive business decisions. And I don't know about you guys, but I need the person who can actually make the decision and write the check. This is where they are. You will find them on there. You can even look them up by position. And I think that's a wonderful thing. So just know, these are not the tire kickers. These aren't people that are not empowered to make decisions. These are the people who are actually driving and making the decisions at their respective companies. Now we're going to take a look at a LinkedIn profile. What does it take to set one up? What should you be putting in them and all that good stuff? Because believe it or not, this is not the stuff that LinkedIn tells you. It just tells you that here is a space and you need to fill it. It doesn't tell you how to fill it. So we're going to talk about some of that today. So this is my LinkedIn profile, and you can see I have a branded header. You always want to make sure you have a header. I promise you, some of you in the group will be old enough to remember Tom from MySpace. You know, if you had a MySpace page, you get it. When you first set up your account on MySpace, you started with a friend named Tom. Tom owned the company, but he didn't want you to start with absolutely no connections and no friends. So he was a friend to everyone when you started. Once you were schooled and you realized that particular thing, you went in and, God love him, you deleted Tom as one of your connections because it made you look like you were a newbie, right? If you have all of the cute little gray gradient boxes as your header, I think you look like a newbie. You don't look like you have a professional polished profile. So you want to make sure that you are finding and creating a header to put here to represent your company in its best light. Next, you have to have a photo on your personal profile. This is not a holder for your logo. This is you. In this particular profile, it's you. It is not your business. So you need to make sure that you are a person. On LinkedIn, people connect with people. They follow companies, right? So make sure you have an up-to-date photo, nothing older than 18 months, or is considered out of date. And I will tell you where this comes in handy. If you're someone like me who has to meet prospective clients out in public, if I don't know what they look like, but they have a LinkedIn profile with a picture, I can find them if the picture's current. If it's not, and you have gone from a brunette to a platinum blonde, I'm going to have trouble finding you unless you've given me other directions. So just make sure your photo on your profile is you. It's a photograph of you. Make sure it's professional, right? This is not the time to right click and use your, family reunion photo and you're cropping people out of the back. It should be a professional photo on your profile. This, you would think, would go without saying. Make sure your name is spelled correctly. I promise you, I have run into more than one client who had their name spelled incorrectly. Now, mine's pretty simple. I do have clients that have, and I'm not kidding you, over 16 letters in their last name. And you need to make sure that it's right, because if people are searching for you, that's how they find you. So just make sure you double check having your name spelled correctly. This is the first mistake that most people make because they do what LinkedIn tells them to do. And LinkedIn asks you for a title here. It says headline, but most people use it to put their title in there. That is a waste of LinkedIn top-notch real estate. This is the first thing that people see about you besides your name. So you do not want to put, I'm the owner of XYZ company. Nobody cares. And why? Because they don't know what XYZ company is, right? So I implore you, use this headline to tell people how you help them. That should be the only question that is answered by you putting in your LinkedIn headline. How do you help me? That's all that people are looking for. So make sure that your headline reflects that. And then if you want to add sections to your profile, if you click on this button, it will tell you the different options that you have to go ahead and add those, okay? It will also show you other profiles that somehow people associate with yours. Either you're in the same kind of field, people have searched for both of you. I will tell you, love Deanna and Kathy. Kathy and I are in many networking groups together. Deanna and I both play in the LinkedIn field, and we've done presentations together. So naturally, she would come up when people have come across my profile. So you got to love that. Your About section is the next biggest deal because this is where you get to put in all of the fun information about you. This is about you, right? Not your company, about you specifically, because we're talking about your personal profile, where you can start jamming those search engine optimization terms and keywords in here so that when people are out on the web looking for a particular product or service, hopefully Google will find all of this fun stuff in your profile, right? So your opening paragraph should tell all about you and how you help people. I love when people do bullet points because that lets me get right to the point. Even if I'm not going to read the entire thing, and by the way, the chances, I know that people love you. The chances that people are going to read your entire About section is almost slim to none. Yes, some people will. It is not going to be the majority of readers on there. Remember that whole 1 billion people? Do you really think they're reading all of them? No. But this is a tool that is an SEO boost for you aside from your website where people can actually find you. So this is not the time to not put information or to cut it short. You are allowed 2,600 characters and spaces in this particular section, and you should be at as close to 2,600 as you can possibly be to make sure you're putting in all of that searchable content, right? And I always remind people, yes, you have content or a section at the beginning of your profile that lists your contact info, but why not put it down here again? Right? You cannot give someone a way to contact you enough because the name of the game of being on LinkedIn is that someone reaches out to you. Yes, they can message you directly, but some people prefer to call. That's why we have phones. Some people prefer to email. I put it in here again just to make sure no one can ever say, I couldn't get a hold of you. If they have found me on LinkedIn, I promise you, I have given them every opportunity to get a hold of me because that is what the success of my business hinges on. And I'm betting that that's the same for you. This page shows your activity, right? It'll show, how many followers do you have, what your last post was, and what time that was posted. It'll show all of your posts there. If you click on that button, someone coming across your profile can go in and see everything that you've posted, way back. They're probably not going to go back years and years, right? But they can go in there and access everything that you have written about. So it's a great tool. When I come across somebody, I look to see, A, are they posting? Are they active? And B, what kinds of things are they posting? Are they a resource for me? Are they posting stuff that I know, hey, if this person's, a HR professional, are they giving tips and tricks? Is that something that I need to know? So I promise you, people are looking at your activity and your experience, right? This is why we don't put our title up in that top headline. Remember? Our titles are down in the experience section, right? People can still see what I do. I just don't use my headline for that because, again, it is A1 prime real estate, right? So A, make sure you have your title here and that it's spelled correctly. And you're going to have your other positions as well. The top one should always be your current position. Now, I currently have 2. And I want Glitter Girl to be first because the one that's beneath it is basically, it's a nonprofit organization that I head up. So if I want to make money, I make sure that my current profile shows that my current position is the top one. You can also put in your education licenses, your volunteering. It is completely up to you. I will tell you, without fail, I run across more people who have either, it's come down to even on all sides, and they have had something in here that has set them apart. And I'll give you an example. A very good friend of mine was applying for a position, and he had listed in his LinkedIn profile that he was an Eagle Scout. Anyone who's involved with Scouts knows what a big deal it is to become an Eagle Scout. Guess who the person who was doing the hiring was? Another Eagle Scout. Do you think that stood out to him? Absolutely, that is something that would resonate with him. So you just never know what volunteering, what licensure people are looking for. I will tell you, very few people in the United States, and this is my own horn, I'm just giving an example, have been certified by the American Marketing Association as a certified marketer in digital, because it takes some work, right? So I want people to know, if they're looking at my profile and considering me for a position, perhaps one of these licensures will set me apart from, the guy who decided he did social media from his mom's basement, has no training, but knows how to post on LinkedIn. Hopefully people see the differentiation. And that's why we always are sure to fill out all 3 of these sections. Your skills and endorsements is another one. I like to know what people are really good at, and I like to know it by hearing from the people in their network, right? So on here, you can actually
Heather?
intense. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, you cut out there for like 10 seconds. Uh-oh. Can't hear you again. Heather?
I'm here, I promise.
Here you are.
Yeah, it said that my internet is unstable. Sometimes that pops up randomly. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right, I'm going to go back into this slide then. So taking the skills quizzes on here lets people know what you're really good at. And what I was sharing before I was so rudely interrupted by an internet outage, apparently, is that these quizzes are rather difficult. They are not gimmies where you can just add fluff to your LinkedIn profile. They're difficult. I've passed the one, I think it is on, I want to say it was PowerPoint. And if I can't handle a PowerPoint and I'm doing webinars, that's a problem. But I'm going to tell you, it was difficult. So if you see someone who has taken skills quizzes and been recognized as passing those, it's a big deal. Also, people can endorse you for any number of services. And here's the funny thing. You will find sometimes that you get endorsed for skills you didn't even know you had. I think it's funny. It's lovely, and I love when people endorse me, but sometimes I'm like, do I really do that? Okay. So just be mindful of that as well. So here's a list of skills that you can look at. Oops, let me go back just a second. Hang on, going the wrong way. Yes, I would agree. Marketing, social media, social networking, those all make sense. Event planning. Now, I do that because I have events like this one, or I have events with my nonprofit, but I don't consider myself an event planner. But look, 64 people think I'm really good at it. Great, that can do nothing but help me, right? I do like to set up events, and I like to partner with people for events. So that's a good thing, but event planning is not one of my services that I offer. So just be mindful of that. Recommendations are a big deal, and I will tell you, people used to fill these out a whole lot more prevalently, and I feel like there has been a drop in this because more than likely, if people are going to say something about you, they're probably going to say it on Google, right? Because that is the number one place that anyone goes for information. I know that Bing is still out there, and DuckDuckGo and all of that kind of thing. Google has a 92% market share. Any one of us would be thrilled to have that number as our market share in whatever business vertical we're in. So I will tell people, if you're going to say something nice about a company, put it on Google. because that's going to be their first stop. However, if you would like to compliment a particular person, this is a great way to do that. It's no cost. It is very simple to do, and I totally appreciate it when people write a recommendation for me. So you can go click on, you can see whoever the profile that you're looking at, the recommendations that they've received, the recommendations that they've given. And this will show you who has given the recommendation, when they did it, what they do, and what they're talking about, which is fantastic. Thank you, Maria and Therese. We appreciate that. You can see how many recommendations that a person has. And when you're in your own profile, it will show you if there are any pending recommendations, because you do have to approve those before they go up. And that's sometimes a good thing. It lets you know that someone has accessed your profile. But I've had people spell names wrong or have, some kind of grammatical error, and you can just, if they're friends, and likely they are, if you feel comfortable, you can say, hey, would you mind going in and changing that so that it looks professional coming from them, but also on your page. So just a heads up there. Interests. On here, you can follow people, companies, groups, newsletters, all kinds of fun things. So this will show you who you're following, what you like, and you can tell about somebody about, the things that they're into. That anybody who knows Gary Vee knows he is straight up social media marketing, digital, love it. So of course I follow him. Brene Brown, perfect with self-help and all that kind of thing. So you can get a good idea about how the person is and what they respond to from looking at their interest section. I love that we're going to send you the presentation, and I'm going to send it to Laura today, because everything got updated for 2025. But this gives you an idea of the different character limits, and we're not going to go over all of them because you're going to figure it out easy enough when you get in there. But this is a good kicking off point. It lets you know this is characters and spaces, right? So if you use Word and you type up your headline, you can look and see how many characters and spaces it is. Don't just look at the characters. Characters is the line above characters and spaces. If it's over 220, it's going to get chopped off. So this will give you a good jumping off point for you to take a peek at when you're in there doing your profile. This is all great. The profile looks great now. How do I actually use my LinkedIn profile to build my business? Because that's what you're here for, right? It's not about having a good looking profile. They can be great looking all day, but if they don't convert, if they're not attracting the correct people to read your content, is it really building your business? Probably not. So let's talk about that. So how do I do it, right? I'm going to find connections and targeted clients. And those are two different buckets generally, but the targeting on LinkedIn is unparalleled. The search that they have is unbelievable. I'm telling you, this tool has been finely honed over the last 22 years. Connect with every business professional in your network and then target your next set of clients, right? If I would love to work with XYZ company, guess what? You can search XYZ company and every employee that they have that is connected to their profile here on LinkedIn. It's a great tool. So this is how you be connected. Post valuable content. Remember, we talked about earlier having people that are resources for you. So your personal content that you're pushing out should teach others how to solve a problem or how to do their job better. It always should establish you as a thought leader or a resource in your particular business vertical. When I post tips and tricks about social media, it can feel like, wow, I'm giving away my knowledge base. Yeah, but they still have to implement it, right? I'm not giving them the secret of the universe by saying, on social, when you do a graphic, it shouldn't be primarily verbiage. It should be a photo. That's not giving away the farm. That's just giving them a tip, right? So make sure you make yourself a resource for your particular audience. Join groups and leverage them. And we're going to talk about why here in a little bit, right? You want to find LinkedIn groups that are relevant to your target demographic, the people that you're hoping to get in front of. They may be an opportunity for you to interact, offer advice, or just start a conversation, because that is all LinkedIn is about, forming real life conversations with people. So be active when you're on LinkedIn. And this is the one that we struggle with as business owners, because it's another thing that we have to do, right? You guys all started businesses to do a particular thing. I am guessing that learning about LinkedIn is not the thing that you started your business to do, but it's a cost of doing business. So block out and set aside time every single week to be on LinkedIn. Just being on there isn't good enough. Just being in the Rolodex doesn't mean anything. It's not establishing you as a resource. You are not connecting with people if you're just on there, and you're certainly not getting that, great time with them that can ultimately lead to a purchase, a contract, whatever that looks like. So make sure that you are prepared to be on LinkedIn. So let's go back to the first one. Find connections and targeted clients. What's the first thing we're going to do? Grab the low-hanging fruit. We all have a stack of business cards somewhere. If we do any kind of networking, even if we've pulled them off public bulletin boards, whatever that looks like, go through that stack of business cards on your desk and find those people on LinkedIn. When you connect with them, make sure you can tell them where you met. Hey, it was really nice to meet you at the Akron Chamber luncheon the other day. I would love to connect with you here on LinkedIn. Most time, if people are active on LinkedIn, they're going to accept your connection, because guess what? They're on there for the exact same reason as you. And don't ever feel like, oh, I can't really reach out to them because I don't want to offend, right? They're busy, or what, fill in the blank, right? That's what we're there for. So make sure you're reaching out to make those connections. You can ask your current connections for introductions to target clients with whom they are connected. Just a couple of lines can make all the difference in the world, right? If they connect you with somebody, you're not a cold call. You are not a problem child reaching out to them. You are someone that someone in their network thought enough of to introduce you. Now, the caveat on that is, I'm connected with a whole lot of people that wouldn't know my name if you said it, right? Because we connect pretty prevalently with everyone. So make sure that if someone asks you for an introduction and you don't really know the person, it is 100% okay to tell them, look, yep, I'm connected with them. I don't know them really well. I'm still happy to make the connection, but I don't know that it's going to move the needle in the way that you would like. And they may even have someone else in their network who is also connected with that person. So just be honest about the relationship you have with the person in question, right? You're never going to offend anyone. You can tell them I'm still willing to do it. Just let them know, kind of where you stand in that relationship. Here is the best thing in the world. The search function on LinkedIn is awesome. Learn to use it. It's simple. It's an easy tool to learn to use. You can search for targeted individuals by their names, by their categories, including people, what companies they're at, the groups they belong in, posts, anything you can think of, you can search by, and it is fabulous. If you're looking for, people who work in the greater Medina County area, you can find that. It is awesome the way, and by the way, this is all free. This is all part of this functionality that LinkedIn has. Excuse me, I'm getting a little dry. Let me take a real quick sip and I'll jump right back in. So yes, that search tool is your key to be finding those prospects with whom you don't already have a connection. And this tool makes it super simple to do that. When you look at your network, you can look at many things. All right, I can see how many connections I already have and how many contacts I have. Now the difference between the two, because most people don't know, a connection is somebody that you have a first, second, or third level connection with on LinkedIn specifically. A contact is somebody with whom you've either shared a message, even if you're not connected, or that you've contacted in another way. You've done an in-mail. I don't suggest those because they can get expensive, but they're not yet a connection, but you've already had a contact with them. It will show you how many groups you're a member of. It's just the Manager Network tool is great too, to let you kind of know where you're at. Posting valuable content. Post content that will establish you as an expert in your field. This is great, right? Because this is what you know all about. You are the professional in your field, but the content that you put out should be reflective of that, right? Share quality posts. Don't feel like you need to keep all of your knowledge under wraps. People will not be interested in engaging with you if they have not yet established that, yeah, okay, Heather does know something about this. You do know something about this. You're going to be posting to your profile. You can post through your company page. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And you can actually post specifically in particular groups. Post consistently. This is older. I need to update that because now it's over 1 billion. With over that many users, your scroll, depending on how many people, I'm connected with over 5,000 people. My scroll moves really quickly because every time somebody posts, that's another, cog in the wheel of everything that's on my profile. If you only post once a month, what are the chances that I'm going to be on the very moment that your post happened to be in my feed? Slim to none, right? Because with that many people, I'm probably not seeing it. But if you're posting a couple of times a week, that opportunity increases exponentially. So it's not even just about, oh, you need to put out, more content. It's about putting it out on a consistent basis. That will make the impression. Once people, it's funny, I had somebody this week contact me that I have not been in personal contact in well over 10 years. But she has seen my posts and asked me for help with her LinkedIn profile because I'm constantly on LinkedIn and I'm always putting out, you need to make sure your profile's is up to date. So staying out there was helpful, even though she and I haven't seen each other in quite some time. And then post professionally. And that should be on every platform, but professional means different things on different platforms, right? On LinkedIn, we're not posting the funny cat videos. We're not posting a quiz to find out what kind of potato we are, unless we are Ore-Ida, right? So it is a professional social media site, and it should be posted to accordingly. You should not have any questionable photos on your profile. Your content should not include curse words. I have seen both, by the way. I've seen the F word used on LinkedIn. Kills me. I have seen people dressed 100% inappropriately and almost not so on here. So just make sure you're putting your best foot forward and putting out a professional you. Here's what a post looks like on LinkedIn, right? So you will see you can actually tag companies. How easily can people find you on Google? How fun was it for me to tag Google? People know it's a real thing, right? I'm a huge Canva user. And Laura will testify to that. But when I get little certificates from Canva, letting me know that I've done so many designs. Well, when I got my certificate for designing 6,000 designs, I posted it and tagged Canva. I earned 27 extra followers, and Canva jumped on my post and congratulated me and thanked me for using their platform. Guess what? That established me as a professional who is very well knowledgeable in using Canva to anybody from the outside company or anybody on the outside world. That's why I gained 27 followers, because they knew I knew something about it. So just know you can actually tag companies in here. You can tag people in here. Always use hashtags. There's so much you can do in a LinkedIn post, but we're going to talk about why to use hashtags. That's one of the questions I always get no matter what platform I'm talking about. Hashtags connect social media content to a specific topic, event, theme, or conversation. Basically, it's a file folder. So everything with the hashtag Glitter Girl Media in it is in one space to be indexed and searched. That's all the hashtag is. Now, there's different reasons for using them. But here's an example. If I want to search the hashtag social media marketing, at that time, there were 364,000 people talking about that particular hashtag. So it let me know that every post that had that particular hashtag in it was being indexed, right? Why does it matter? Why does it, at the end of the day, why does the hashtag matter? You can gain followers. Absolutely can. If I did a hashtag Etsy or a hashtag Canva and people are very interested in those things, they may want to keep seeing my content if I'm talking about them. So you can absolutely gain followers for your different platforms. It increases engagement. The more eyeballs on a post, the more opportunity you have for people to like, share, comment, right? So that is a great benefit of using hashtags. You can show support for social issues. I know you guys remember years ago when the hashtag #MeToo went absolutely viral. It showed your support of a particular social issue. Could be anything. Hashtag thin blue line, hashtag pride. It can be anything, but it shows that you have a particular stance and lets people know where you stand on a particular social issue. Adds context to a post, and I always give the same example. Years ago, when I was walking through my kitchen, it was a Monday morning. I tripped over nothing and spilled my coffee on the floor. Not all of it, thankfully, but enough that it was irritating for a Monday morning. Took a picture of it because, well, I'm in social media marketing and pics or it didn't happen. Posted it on my platforms. Naturally, this was not a LinkedIn post, but I did post, yep, it's kind of a Monday, hashtag bad hair day. Everybody knows what that meant. It wasn't to be indexed. I'm not looking to build followers. That particular hashtag just gave context to that post. When you see it, you got the feeling behind the photo. And then to help your target audience find you, they're looking for people who are like-minded, or they're looking for people that are experts in a particular field. Using the correct hashtags can absolutely help you or help your target audience find you if that is what they're looking for. Okay, now we will get into your LinkedIn company page. So this is an example. It will tell you how many followers you have, which hashtags are the ones that you are using for your business, and it'll show posts from you on there from your business. It's a great tool. If you are a business owner, you should 100% have both a personal profile as well as a LinkedIn company page. You need both, because you are not your company and your company is not a person. So you need to have different tools to segment your different areas of your life, right? There's you and then there's your company. You can invite connections to follow your company. Here's the caveat with that one. You will only be able to invite people to follow your company page if they are a connection of yours on your personal profile. That's why there's a duality to it, right? You do not have to post the same content on your company page as you do your personal page, but you absolutely can. So just be mindful of that. And then it will show your analytics. How many times have you showed up in search appearances? How many unique visitors have you had to your company page in the last 30 days? How many post impressions have you gotten in the last 30 days? These are great things to know. How many people have actually clicked through to go to your website to take some kind of action, right? These are great analytical things for you to know. And you can find all those on your company page. You can also do posts on your company page, right? Right here's one of my social media tips. Again, I'm not giving away the farm by telling people this, but I am trying to establish myself as a professional in the field. You can talk about places that you're going to be. Hey, I'm appearing here. I'm speaking here. We have a new product to roll out. We have a new employee. Whatever exciting news you have to share about your company, this is the place to do it. You can talk about national holidays. You can talk about those fun, today is National Do Something Day. Everybody can use a positive word, right? This is a great way to do that. So just something fun and quirky that people can check out and think, yeah, okay, that's great. I know that about the day now. That's perfect. Or you can, this is my favorite thing in the world to do. You can give a small business shout out to someone in your network. I use Julia Bell seasonings when I cook. I was happy to give Tanya a shout out. She's fabulous. And not only does it show the person about whom you've written the shout out that you care about them and want to help them grow their business, but it also shows everybody in your network that, hey, here's a new product you may want to try, or hey, this is a service you can trust. Whatever that looks like, again, it's establishing you as a resource. You're the resource that brought those people together. So a great way to get the attention off of you, because we don't always need to talk about ourselves and our company, and put the attention on someone else for their benefit. Join groups and leverage them. The benefit of joining groups is not only to learn more from LinkedIn users who have joined, but also, again, to establish yourself as a trusted expert and a resource for them. This is my favorite thing about groups, though. Joining groups gives you access to LinkedIn members with whom you may not be able to connect. When you join a group and you have your fellow group members in there, You can access them just like you can a first level connection. It is like you have a first level connection with them. You can message them without having to use an InMail. You have 100% access to everyone in that group. That is an awesome, awesome thing. If I go to someone's webpage, let's say you want to connect with Tim Anderson, who is the CEO of fill in the blank business, right? If I go to his profile and I see what groups he's in, and I really want to make a connection or let him know about me, you think I'm going to join some of the groups he's in? Absolutely. Now, only if I really feel like it will work or I'm going to reach out to him or whatever that looks like, but it's much better than sending an InMail, right? You're a first level connection. So that is an awesome reason to join groups. If you can't find a group that suits your needs, you can always create one. This can be work. I will tell you, you have to get followers, you have to get people that are group members. It can be difficult, but there may be a gap that is looking for that particular thing, right? They may be looking for whatever you've started the group about. So you can invite new members from the manage group section, and you can post content that is relevant and unique to that particular target audience. So if you're feeling like, hey, I can spearhead this, this is a great opportunity to do that. I'm going to buzz through these facts really quick because I want to leave room for questions. They're all going to be in your in the email that Laura sends you. But I will tell you the one that I will stress the most is level connection with fellow group members. 1, first level. So make sure you're joining those groups. You can be a member of up to 100 groups. It doesn't mean you have to join that many. You can see I'm on here and active all the time, and I'm only a member of 33 because that's what I have found that piques my interest and lets me know that that's something that may benefit me, right? I don't just join groups to join them. And so be selective, but don't be over selective. You want to make sure you're a member of enough groups that it makes sense. When you go to your group section, it'll show you the ones that you have joined. It'll show you the ones that you've requested to be a member of. And it will also show you the button to create a group if you would like to create your own LinkedIn group. Set aside time to work LinkedIn. It takes time, right? It doesn't happen automatically. It doesn't happen just naturally, organically. You do have to actually work LinkedIn to get the benefit, right? So create an appointment on your calendar for the time you'll be spending on LinkedIn each week. And here's the key, not just putting it on the calendar, but sticking to it. It can be as little as 1 hour per week. I know we each probably have at least an hour a week that we throw away on something far less beneficial than taking time to work on LinkedIn. Just like everything else and every other social media marketing platform, it only works when you do. So make sure you're putting in the time to make your LinkedIn profile successful. Write down your goals for the week. Are you looking to add connections? Do you want to update your cover art? Whatever it is, have your KPIs and your goals in mind before you even get started. Or how will you know if you're being successful if you're not tracking? As business owners, we have to track everything. Success and goals is not anything new, right? We have to track those as well. Find an accountability partner. As business owners, we all know other business owners. They may have a goal of being on LinkedIn and being more active as well. So find someone that can hold you accountable. And by the way, if you're both working at growing your network, it's going to benefit both of you because the people in their network will then be second level connections of yours. So it's not an exercise in futility. There's actually a payoff to having that accountability partner. This is the question I get all the time on every platform. When's the best time to post? So you're ready for the big secret? I'm going to solve the secret for you. The best time to post is when your target market is active on LinkedIn. That depends, right? If you are looking to target teachers, let's say you have a fundraising business that helps school children raise funds for fill in the blank, band, football, whatever that is. Teachers aren't on there during the day, right? Not during the workday. They're in class with students. So posting during the day, they may see it in their feed if they don't have a lot of followers or a lot of connections, but they may not. So if it's me, I'm posting before or after school hours, if that's who I'm trying to target. So that's the big secret, right? And that answer is different for everyone. That's much like saying, asking what's the best time is like asking how long is a piece of string? Well, it depends. What are we using it for, right? If we don't know what the use is, or, if we don't know, what your target audience is, I can't give you a correct answer for that, right? Here's what the professionals will tell you. I don't know that I subscribe to that. They will tell you best days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I would say I agree with that because most people who are on LinkedIn are not on the weekends, right? We're doing this during work hours. And by and large, the work week is still Monday through Friday for a whole lot of us, right? So again, weekends and after hours tend to be the worst times. But again, it depends on your audience. Here's the other question. So if I'm supposed to post consistently, how often should I post? Here's the next big secret. A business should post on LinkedIn as often as its market will bear. That means you don't want to kill someone with content, but you also don't want there to be rolling tumbleweeds on your platforms either. I will give you a great example of how overposting can be a problem. I did a social media audit for somebody. That's when I go in, I look at what they are doing, and we look at 3 of their competitors just to see what the local market looks like for them on social media. One of their competitors, and these were clothing resale shops. One of their competitors had over 30,000 followers on Facebook. Awesome, right? We would all love to have 30,000 followers. She was only getting like 1 like per post. But then I figured out why. She was also posting an average. This is not the highest, this is an average. She was posting an average of 27 times per day. Now, I don't know about you guys. There's not a whole lot of businesses or people out there I find interesting enough that I feel like I need to consume 27 posts from them every single day. It's just not in me. And based upon the fact that they had 30,000 followers and were only getting 1 to 2 likes per post, I think it was true of their followers as well. It's like opening a fire hose on your audience, right? They didn't even know where to start, so they just didn't like anything, right? So you have to figure out what is enough and what is too much. And you will find that out just by following, and you have to pay attention to results, right? So shoot for posting on LinkedIn once daily, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Again, we want to keep it within the regular work week so we're getting that viewership, right? Shoot for that. Even if you fall below that threshold, please know out of the 1 billion people who are on LinkedIn, only 3 million of them post at least once a week. So you're still going to be in a vast minority of people who are actually putting out a good amount of content, right? Go for quality versus quantity. It is not about how often you post. It's about the quality of your posts. I implore you, do not do the spray and pray method to just throw stuff out there and say that I posted something. Do some research, find out what kind of content resonates the most with your followers, and follow that path. And here's the big key again. Keep an eye on your results. If you're posting that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're getting the interaction that you're looking for, that's where you should be. Now you can test it, post 4 or 5 times 1 week and see what happens. Maybe it'll get better. You don't know, but you will never know if you're not keeping an eye on your results and again, tracking your outcomes. Yes, Heather, this all sounds great. I'm ready to roll. How in the heck do I get all of this done? I have other things to do. Trust me, I get it. So you're going to create a social media posting calendar and you're going to automate. You're not going to post every day. I promise you, even with the best of intentions, something will derail your best efforts if you rely on being able to sit down and post every single day or whatever your schedule it is. It's not going to happen. So what we do is schedule it ahead of time. Use a scheduling platform, third party, Hootsuite, Buffer, Sprout Social. You have to find the platform that's right for you and that fits into your budget. Some are free, and then they can be very limited, right? You can only have a certain number of posts. You can only schedule out so far. You can only have a certain number of platforms. They draw the the line on what's acceptable. If it's paid, you have more flexibility, right? So you have to find the scheduling platform that's best for you. When it comes to creating graphics, if you have not yet checked out Canva, please do. I promise you, I do not get any kickbacks from Canva, but I love it so much that if they were giving out Canva tattoos, I would get one. I love it. It is a game changer for my business. And the price is right. You can use Canva for free. Now, if you take anything away from this and you are in graphics need, if you have graphics department, you don't need this. I promise you. They may already be using it. Do yourself a favor, and if you invest anything in yourself and you're going to be doing graphics, spend that $119 per year. I think it's actually $119.90. There is never a day in the entire year that I am more happy than the one where they take that money out of my account. I would pay that at least monthly. They could probably double it monthly and I would still use it. Don't tell them that. I hope they're not listening. But having all of the bells and whistles available to you on Canva, there's not a better value in the world. Now, if you have a team of people who will be using it, you can have up to 5 in there for $300 per year. It's only $60 per seat. It's a fabulous deal. Here's the great thing. If you are a not-for-profit organization, you get Canva Pro for free. You have to literally fill out one form. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on who's filling it out. It is fabulous. So if you are in that boat, if you are a not-for-profit, get in there and get your Canva account now. It is fabulous. Again, I'm not affiliated with Canva. I am just a very pleased user, but I promise you, they have so many opportunities and templates and photos and graphics and audio file. Anything you can think of is in Canva to help you with your graphics. It is phenomenal. Here's an example. Hold on just a second. Hang on. Sorry, you guys, I must have clearly hit the wrong button. I'm trying to get back to the end. We'll get there. Just giving you a breather from taking in a bunch of info. Could have gone to the last slide, I guess. Right there, your LinkedIn banner. Here's the caveat of this particular conversation. That banner size is incorrect. Just so you know, you're going to have to monkey with it. They do not have that set correctly. So just a heads up. But they have so many opportunities. You can create websites, your social media posts, videos, whiteboards, you name it, it is in here. You can actually do create and print t-shirts. This is a great place. If you need one of the a silly t-shirt that says happy birthday and it needs to be personalized, I have gotten t-shirts that I've created in Canva and drop shipped to myself for $20, including the shipping. I promise you, if you're going to one of those mall stores, it'll be double that. So the possibilities with Canva are endless. Make sure you check it out. I'm going to be quiet and take you guys' questions now. That said, if you would like to have virtual coffee and let me know more about your business, I am thrilled to answer any questions that you have about LinkedIn. It's what I do and it's why I'm here. So here is my email. Screenshot it, take a picture of it. You're also going to get the presentation sent to you. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. The easiest way to get me is always by email because I'm usually on the go, but I would love to learn more about you. We can have a virtual coffee, talk about things. I offer a free 30-minute just discovery call to learn about you and how I can help. So if you're interested, please let me know. While I have one more minute, I will implore you, we are talking about Google next month. Our presentation will be giving it your all on Google, and it talks specifically about your Google business profile. That will be on February 13th, which is a Thursday again, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'd love to have you. So if you have any questions, I would love to answer those for you.
All right, everybody, you can go ahead, type in the chat, Q&A, or raise your hand. There's a lot of good information.
Well, thank you. And trust me, you'll think of a question once you get in there and 20 minutes have passed. Please feel free to email. I'm happy to help.
So far, no questions.
Well, good. I'm glad it was comprehensive.
I still don't see any question, guys. Nothing. Oh,
Again,
here.
you've got my contact info. I'm happy to answer anything. So, hoping you can join us in March. Excuse me, February. I'm way ahead of myself. We were talking about March earlier, so I apologize. But Google is a great presentation, awesome tool. And again, it's about free stuff on Google, what we can do with our profile that is not paid Google ads. That's completely a different animal. So,
All right. I have one raised hand and then a couple questions. So, Belinda, go ahead and unmute yourself.
looks like she may have asked, will there be a Canva webinar?
Oops, flying through
We
here.
just had a Canva webinar, but yes, we will have another one in the rotation later in the year. So make sure you keep an eye out.
All right, and then let's see, Elizabeth, if you wanted to ask a question, go ahead. Just unmute yourself.
Oh, yes, I really appreciate listening to you, Miss Glitter Girl. And I want to ask about Canva. I usually I had a free version of Canva Pro and made a flyer, which I originally was going to pay somewhere under $50 to make for me, but I made the flyer in a few minutes with Canva Pro. And I just want to know, I'm thinking of launching a website for my small business. Can I do that through Canva?
You absolutely can. There is a whole section on creating a website in Canva. I've not done it. I don't do websites, so I don't even do my own. I have someone that I have delegated that to, but you
Yeah.
absolutely can build a website in Canva. Yep, sure can.
Okay. Okay, because I was gonna go through another platform like Network Solutions and just use the Canva graphics. And then I was Googling around and I found out that has free domain names and
Oh, great.
also hosting.
That is awesome. Well, yeah, if you can get it for free. Now, I don't know much about that because again,
Yeah, I'm
I
still
outsource mine,
researching it.
but yep, research it
I
because you
just
absolutely
found out
can.
about it this morning before this you came on. So I'm
Awesome.
still researching it because I was gonna go through Network Solutions and just Canva for the graphics and posters and whatnot. And
Sure.
also I'm gonna be contacting you for a 30-minute coffee um, visit because I want to go over some things with you about my small business and see if maybe your services could benefit me.
All right, perfect. I look forward to it, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you, Heather.
Okay, a question. What is the difference between a group on LinkedIn and a company?
So a company is specific to one organization, right? So Glitter Girl Media as a business has a company page. I can start a group where I can talk about, social media marketing and it's more generic and I invite people in and we have a conversation. So groups are completely different than company pages. Company page, absolutely every business owner should start. Groups, maybe, maybe not. So two, just totally church and state, two different things.
All right, and then he's also asking, not sure I understand, is there a difference? There's a link here. It says, are there two different companies or just one being an alias? I think that that's just referring to the fact that one is a group versus one is a page.
No, it's two
Company.
groups. If you would email me those two, I will go ahead and click on them. I just don't want to tie everybody up by taking a peek. But if you send me those two things, it looks like one is a public profile and the other one looks like an admin profile. But if you send them to me, I will definitely take a peek.
And then question, as a small business owner, you suggested having a personal page as well as a business page. What should I include in my personal page?
That was what the beginning of the when we talked about the personal profile, you'll have all of that information in the presentation that Laura sends over. So you'll see where it's delineated. We talk about the profile and then we talk about the company page. So everything that was at the beginning of the presentation is specific to your personal profile.
Perfect. All right, I think that is the end of it.
Awesome. Well,
Any
thanks
more
again, you guys. We hope to see you again in February for Google. And again, any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will be around.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.